Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 97. And this is Chaz. If you haven't seen him, he decided to come over and love me up. And then Max ran away. We can't have two cats on camera. It would just be too cute. Two knitting cats sitting here. Yeah. Yep. We were talking about our cats being fat. And Amy saying it's all relative because her cats are, nope, here he goes. Are much skinnier than my cats.
They're lightweights.
Skinny McSkinnisons. How are things?
Good.
I feel like you're so far away.
I thought I had like tons to talk about, and then I get here and my brain goes empty. But I hosted a spinning get together.
Fun.
And got to spin with some local friends and got to talk. I don't know, just to get a different perspective from different people. I haven't sat with knitters other than you in a while.
IRL.
Yeah, IRL is correct.
In real life.
So that was interesting and that was fun, and I thank them very much. I believe they watch when they can, so I don't know if they're completely caught up, but if they are, that was fun. And the loom came, and I've been looming it up. I think that it's really fun, and I've ordered a few more things, and gotten. Like, I thought I was doing really good, and then all of a sudden, just a rash of things that I've wanted have, like, come up into my life. And right now, this very moment, there is fiber that I want sitting out on cloudlover.com, and I am letting the fates decide. If I can get to my computer, probably be tomorrow in the AM sometime, and it's still there, I might be making an order there, too. Cute stuff based on The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ah.
So cute.
Yes. I texted Amy the other day and was like, I'm trying to decide what color I'm going to get of this. And Amy is like, you have sickness.
I did.
Quit buying yarn.
It was just so funny because you're like, but it's such a great price. I'm like, don't you have a lot of this kind of yarn? Like, isn't it?
Yes.
There are a bunch. You like just right there. I don't know what's wrong with.
Shut your face. You sound like my husband.
I mean, again, I bought some yarn this week, so I have very little room to judge. But I was looking at everything, and I have this problem with wanting to knit all the things right now. And I think that it's more of a stash anxiety than actually wanting to knit all the things. Does that make sense?
Stash anxiety.
Yes.
I have stash guilt. I don't have stash anxiety.
Well, it could be a form of guilt. You know, like, I have a lot of it. It's just sitting there. Why am I not knitting with it? I need to find some patterns to knit up all these scraps, because right now I have like 3 bins. 3 bins. I mean, they're not huge, but they're kind of flat and about this big, and they open like a briefcase. I love them. Anyway, they are full to the gills with scraps. And so I was like, okay, I gotta figure out a way to get rid of these. So the loom is helping with that. And I've also been just looking out for like small patterns, and I think that the October knit along for the small stuffies will help. And we were supposed to do a this or that. Did you pick a pattern?
I did not.
Okay.
We still got some time before October.
Yeah.
And if the point is to use scraps, then people won't have to buy supplies or anything.
No, this is true. This is true. And the pattern will be a Ravelry download when it is drawn and given. But yeah, maybe we'll just put it in the threads soon and then mention it next week.
Soonly.
Yeah. Because I've been looking and looking and looking, and I keep thinking, well, I should get away from people that I often refer to. So, like, well, I own a lot of this person's patterns and that person's patterns. Maybe I should look for something new and different in the Stuffies world. And I'm looking through, pages and pages and pages of it, and I keep going back to the same people. So I must have an aesthetic that I like. Yeah.
Maybe there's a reason you like them.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe they are your taste.
Yes, exactly.
I'm starting to question your taste. On Project Runway, right?
Yes.
We're starting to question your taste level. What else is going on? Ongoing self-striping, KAL. Self-striping continues to come into my life.
Oh, I did want to mention that my husband picked out, and I guess I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but he picked out a stripy yarn for his next pair of socks.
Whoa.
So once I get further along on the socks that I have, and then there's like something coming to us, right? Like I have another sock that I'm supposed to cast on soon, an obligation sock, right?
Yeah, one of us.
Oh, okay, so I can push it, Jenny.
I want to become a giver. I want to be one of the givers. You'll see, and it's not really enabling, I guess, since we're talking about it organically, I can. My husband has given me such guff about this sock yarn that I bought and for socks for him that I have not yet knit for him. Like every time he sees me, he's like, are you knitting on those socks yet? No. So it's going to be cast on.
It's skeined.
Yes, it could be. I did some balling with my big old ball winder. And this is the Earl Grey in the BFL and he just pointed out to me that his other Miracle Gen BFL sock is one of his favorites.
Oh, okay. Not
I
too
think
hot
I did
and
election
sweaty?
year. He's like, these wear really well, and I like the way these fit. And I think they are toe up.
And he had the sweaty feet problem, right? So the BFL
He
must be
did.
better.
Yes, the BFL is less warm. It does better, and then he also liked the construction of those as well.
That bumps me out. I just balled up a huge ball of yarn, and it's bright orange for the ingot, and it was huge. And I thought that I packed it.
Let's do this episode upside down.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I totally feel like we should. Like, we're doing it upside down, right? We're talking about our enabling?
Yeah.
Sort of. Okay, we're upside down.
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday, Freaky Wednesday. I balled up my ingot yarn, and I bought the pattern. And this is a new to me dyer. It is called Fangirl Fiber, and it's a BFL, and she had some really great deals to be had because she was cleaning out her shop for the fall. So this is superwash BFL wool in a DK light worsted 240 yards, and I got it for 50% off. I really like the colors. Like, I think that it's kind of dark overtones. I go through a dark phase in the fall. I think last year I bought some stuff, and I was really digging the dark. And I think the ingot is going to go really fast because it's on size 11 needles, 13s.
Oh.
Put them in here, 11s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully I have those.
Bazoom! I had to dig out my Addy interchangeables to get up to that.
Well, that's a standard set, so I will have them in
Look at those colors. They're kind of denim-y, but there's also a dark overtone. So yeah, it's Fangirl Fiber, and I believe it's Etsy.com, Fangirl Fiber.
And mine is Womiza. That's this color. And a little bit of this color too.
And isn't there a little red in there too?
It might be, yeah. It's a blend, and it's so bright. It's searing. So I was gonna knit like the first section of it and see if I
Yeah, I'm gonna end up having to alternate, I think, because this one looks.
Your own.
It's perfect. I have no problem with my yarn being I don't have them normally, so I can buy them. Yeah, one of them is, this one looks a little bit lighter. But they seem really generous. Doesn't this seem more than 100 grams to you?
I haven't done something like that recently.
Here, now we're weighing my balls. It seems more substantial than 100 grams to me, but
No.
no? Okay. What happens if you shut your eyes? Which one's heavier?
You're making me laugh.
Which one is heavier?
They're not any different. This one is the Miracle Gem.
Shut your face. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to say which one's heavier.
Yes.
It's the same. Okay. You shut your face when you're talking to me. Yes. So that is my enabling. That came into my life.
Let me try to shut my face.
Also, that came into my life, Spoonflower had you could get a free swatch of their new Performance Knit. And I mean, it was like free because it was free shipping as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was free. But it worked.
Mm-hmm.
The promotion worked because I'm like, ooh, this is slinky and nice. I need some pants.
Like pajama pants.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
No, I'm gonna wear them to work.
Leggings.
It
should be those leggings.
My alternate lives will combine. Like everybody will know. Everybody will know. So yeah, that's my enabling.
On the very popular pajama bottom day at work. Doesn't happen at our work.
Yeah,
ever.
Everybody wears ties, so suit jackets.
So I fell down at a couple different shops. So Miracle Jen had 15% off her shop, and that was in our enabling thread, and it might still be going on because it said September in the coupon code. And this is what Megan used for her Bonnie. It's the lace weight 80% BFL, 20% silk in the silver screen colorway.
Very pretty.
And right now to me it looks very silver, but earlier, like I'll hold it just like this, and it's got like a lavender streak in it too. So I love this. It's very beautiful, and it's going to be something fabulous. It could be a Bonnie. It could be another lace weight shawl. I'm enjoying knitting on my lace weight shawls, but they're just sucking up a lot of time right now.
Mm-hmm.
You just feel like this is really fun, but if I use the same amount of time on something else, I could get it done. And
yeah,
instead of work on the middle of this giant shawl.
I hear you.
It's very
pretty.
one.
Can I feel it, please?
Oh, yeah.
I know what it feels like. And that's 850 yards?
875.
875.
25 extra yards just for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was wonderful, and I got that late last week. And then yesterday, how was I enabled by this? Did she post her threads? I don't think she did. Oh!
You were looking at a pattern.
I was looking at a pattern, and I looked at all the recommended yarns, so totally worked on me. There was a sample knit out of the Cyborgs Craft Room yarn, and so I went out to her website to see what she had. And if you didn't see the name before, it is Rock, Paper, Scissors, Lizard, Spock. Bazinga. How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's just pretty darn awesome. I love this color combination, and I think it will go really well into our miniature knits for next month.
Mm-hmm.
Because I say that because it's got 463 yards in it. I could get socks and several miniature stuffies out of this skein.
True story.
I know.
It doesn't stripe, or does it?
I don't think so.
Okay. It looked like it could possibly. You might have some cool streaking, flashing. Cooling.
Yeah,
streaking and flashing. That's always good.
I think it'll be streaking and flashing.
Okay.
Just cover all our bases.
Yes. Better the yarn than other things. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
And then, that was it. But I do have more things on order.
I do have as well.
The thing that really surprised me, that jumped into my cart this week, is more sock rockets from Addie Turbo. Addie Needles. So I was working on my noodle, which you'll see
at the end of the show.
Yeah. So Noodle is awesome,
Mm-hmm.
but he was knit, or she was knit on size zeros. I only have zeros in Knit Picks needles. I hated them by the end of that noodle. Throw them away. Stupid joins on them, kept snagging, and it was infuriating me. And so I was like, well, so I got out my needles and I thought, okay, I want a magic loop with these. So the Chigoos are out, too stiff of a cable. Chigo, or Hiya I could go with those, but I just decided not to. Went out to Bob and Nancy and ordered Bob and Nancy.
I bought some
free shipping.
Yep, I bought some cheapo needles from China for $9, shipped from China for $9.
Oh, okay.
16 pair.
Okay.
45-inch cords.
Oh.
I guess the set goes. Paula of Knitting Pipeline was talking about them. They were out on eBay. I think they have like an angular join, and that was the only thing that was kind of like dicey about them. But they go down to like triple zeros or quadruple
zeros, right?
Yeah, or do they go down to 5 zeros?
I don't know. You texted me 4 zeros.
Okay. I don't know. Because they list the sizes, and they have like a needle gauge that comes with them, but it's their Asian sizes. So it doesn't really help. So it's like size 2 to 16 or something like that. And I went and looked at like what the millimeters were. And I think that's literally like the millimeters. Is 2 millimeters? No. It'd be smaller than that to go down. Anyway.
Yeah, 2 millimeters.
We'll talk about them more when they arrive. We're like doing some future enabling here.
Yeah,
future acquisitions.
We shouldn't be doing that.
Yep. Do you have any works in progress?
I do. I am working on my Pont Neuf. And after the spinning was done yesterday, I just picked this up and went from 1 inch to 3. So I am thinking that this might be more in rotation than it used to be. I think I got a little too much into the small needles, and now I'm bouncing back out to the bigger needles projects. And so this is getting more of my evening in front of the TV knitting.
And that's Sun Valley Fibers.
Absolutely.
It's
a cashmere blend. I think it's an 80-10-10 worsted. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's beyond. Like, if you could, like, I even purposely did a nice slow, even wind of the cake just so that they could just be extra, like, smushy and wonderful.
It's just savored.
Yes, I just, like, yep, that's winding up.
She savored her ball in.
So I am enjoying working with it very much. It's turning into a lovely fabric. I am alternating the 2 skeins, and I have the other 2 balled up just in case I feel like I need to add in. But I think that there's going to be enough separation between the front panel and the rest of the sweater that I'm not necessarily going to need to mix things up too much. And it seemed like there was only 1 ball out of my 6 that I had that seemed like the odd man out. So he stayed at home. And then I have all the rest of them ready to go. And so that I can kind of like, okay, I don't know. When I get ready to switch, I can kind of gauge which one goes next. But I kept the odd guy out. It was a little bit darker.
You're into yarn segregation.
I didn't want to accidentally pick him up and use him and be like, no, it's big pink line. So,
I feel you.
So then my other work in progress is my sock giver. This is the weapon or the girl, Jenna 716 knit, and it's the BFL base. So it's 80% BFL, 20% nylon. It's a very sturdy sock. And I am knitting these up.
According to my husband, they're less sweaty.
Yeah. So I'm doing this for the Sock Giver Taker thread, the Sock Classifieds. If you're interested in checking that out, it looks like we have a sock taker without a giver right now. So somebody pre-posted their taker. But I also know that there's people on that list that haven't had takers because they're in another country. So if you are from outside the United States, it might be just as cheap for you to contact a lady that's not in the region and get things shipped to you. Also, what was there? Oh, there was somebody who had knit a whole pair of socks and they just weren't her bag. And so, you wouldn't even have to wait for the socks. They would just come directly to you, and they were very lovely looking. And
my phone is making bloop bloop bloop. So.
And I think everything else was scooped up. And maybe those ones that were already made have been scooped up as well. But I haven't been out there looking at it or marshalling it because I am in the midst of making mine.
Here, Maxie.
And I am going to do an OMG heel.
Woohoo! Person gets an OMG heel. Sit down.
Yep. So I believe we're nearly the same size. Just from the measurements she gave me. So I should be able to try this on, and I have sock blockers that are the right size and all that stuff. So yay!
I have a Max. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what he was doing with that too. Is that all your works in progress? Feels so backwards.
Well, yeah, because it is. We have my shawl.
It is what it is.
And I did actually do, I had 10 rows on this, which is actually just 5 of the chart, because the back row isn't on there. And it felt like I was like, oh man, I'm zooming, and I love this, and isn't this great? But you probably can't tell. It got a little bigger. Hooray!
To be honest with you, I can't.
Well, because it's the exact same pattern that it starts here, but it grows. So, as you're knitting it, you're knitting the exact same thing, except that it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit more exaggerated. So it's really hard to tell in this stage of the shawl that anything's different. Like if I was knitting a sampler where it changed from stockinette to whatever, but this is it until the end of the shawl, is it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you're done. But it's a lovely pattern. It's very easy to follow. I haven't had any problems with it, and it had a lot of FOs for me to look at and ooh and ah over, so I know that it will block to something amazing, even though it just looks kind of plain Jane right now. And Highland Handmaids, and in the alpaca silk thing. That's just it, alpaca and silk.
That is what I remember.
Base. So that is that. What are you working on? Yours has a whole story behind it, so it's gonna yabber.
Should I start with the story, or should I start
Yeah.
with? Okay. So I recently changed to blog. I'm making this much longer than it needs to be, but I recently changed to blog readers to now I'm not going to remember it.
Dig or something?
Dig, yep. And which I don't use the dig function, which is like how you share with, but I use it as my blog reader because it has the same shortcut keys, and you can hit end to go to the next one, and you can scroll and it marks as read. And I really dig, which is fitting now that I remember what it's called. And I was going back through, and Kelbourne Woolens, the fiber company, is having a design contest, and it's for their Savannah base, and it's for a summer garment. And I was kind of like, well, I have a summer garment. And so I contacted them and I said, if I've already had it's unpublished, but I had a design in the works, would it be okay to use it for your contest? And they were like, yeah. I was thinking that if it took them a really long time to get back to me, like that would be a sign. But no, they got back to me immediately and said, no, that'd be great. And then I called our local yarn shop, Hank and Pearls, and I was like, do you have any of the Fiber Company Savannah? Like, yeah, it's in the clearance. And I'm like, oh, clearance. And I was like, do you have like 3 or 4 skeins in the same colorway? Well, we only have one colorway that has 3 or 4 skeins. I'm like thinking, what colorway is this going to be? It's going to be brown. It's going to be something that I'm not going to want to get. Like, that would be another sign. And nope, it's blue. And I'm like, oh. So I went down there and I got it, and it was on sale. And I got the gauge that I wrote the pattern for with it. So this is the Fiber Company's, I'm in a precarious place here, the Fiber Company's Savannah in the chambray colorway. And it's a really nice base. I really, really like it. It has a lot of things that work really well with this design. It's got wool, 50% wool, which gives it a little bit of elasticity. 20% cotton, 15% linen, which I think makes the stitch pattern kind of pop, pop. You know how I like the pop, pop. And 15% Did you hear about Community? They fired the original writer, director.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They did their little whatever, a couple episodes, and now they've hired him back. Yeah, they're bringing him back. Yo. And 15% soya. Sorry. Tangents. Backward tangents. And the thing that I really like, and I'm going to hold it up here, and hopefully you can see, is that you can see how the different fibers took the color differently. And I really like that. So certain ones of them are super blue, and others are a lot more purple. And I really think that it makes the stitch pattern pop. And I think it's really soft. I think that I would wear this as like a swimsuit cover-up as well.
Oh,
whereas like
okay.
maybe my other ones I wouldn't as much.
Right.
This is like really soft.
The linen would be,
yeah. The linen and it's just, so far it's been good. For what I want it to do. So, and for the design I only needed 3, but I got 4 so that I could swatch. And I swatched today. I'm so proud of myself for swatching. I have to show you the swatch. There. Ta-da!
Oh, that is very nice.
So that is a work in progress. I have to have the finished garment out on Instagram by September 30th.
Okay.
So, and it won't take long. This is
Zoom.
Yep. This is for a 32-inch bust. So it's a 30-inch with 2 inches of naked piece.
Okay.
Woot woot. So coming. And the cool thing about the contest is that even if this doesn't make it into the finals or anything, I still can publish the pattern. So I thought I'd throw my hat in the ring, and
yeah, it did seem like kismet.
It did,
because
I was just commenting that that it doesn't make much sense to publish this in September, and so this is for a
2014
spring 2014 pattern catalog. So this is currently not on the needles. No, part of it is. I'm trying to pull out all the color stitches. No yarn, working yarn attached. This is my Austin hoodie out of the single ply Sun Valley fiber in the intense colorway. And yeah, I added some inches to, even though it killed me because I wanted to be to the interesting part, added some inches to the length. And then I got up to the woven section, which is fantastic. Oh, I love it. Feel it. Oh, yeah. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, and so that's where you doubled up.
Yep, doubled the yarn.
Fun. Okay.
And then you have a slip stitch.
Yeah, and that's something you can't really tell from the pictures.
I didn't see that at all. That wasn't like why I wanted to knit it.
Right.
Like I saw this detail up here of the ribbing. To be honest with you, I'm a little concerned about the armhole depth. Like, this is going to be a lot of stitches to pick up. And I know that you do shaping and whatever, but I mean, it's like a good 2 inches below my armhole. I saw that coming. You were like, dude, you're holding your armpit up to me. I love you, but I don't love you that much.
Don't think I even love my husband that much. Jeez Louise.
You wouldn't like check for like a tick or anything in there for him?
I suppose I do that.
Okay.
Jeez. Yes.
I gotta love him. God, today is my anniversary. I didn't even mention that. You didn't mention yours when we podcasted on there. My husband was like, "Are you gonna podcast tonight?" And I was like, "I was planning on it." We're gonna go to a movie and dinner some other night. But yeah, so yes, I love this woven texture right there. This part just like zoomed for me. Again, it's because you're just doing, little pieces. They seem to grow a lot faster.
Yes.
But it's been fun. I had to laugh. I looked at the pattern for the collar. How many stitches do you think I'm supposed to pick up between those two pieces?
Well, this is an interesting guessing game. 8.
0. And the pattern, of course, says, you should pick up the right number and decrease them away. And I'm like, okay, that's going to be interesting. I mean, I guess you could seam it there later, but my goodness. So yeah, I'll be picking up and doing some math because you want to keep it in the ribbing pattern. I was like, 0. That might be a pretty holy cardigan or cardigan hoodie. I mean, the hood would probably cover it up a little, but it still just was like a head scratcher. I was like, am I reading the pattern? No, it says you pick, because the different sizes, like one says 1, and yeah, because it fits in pattern if you don't pick up any.
Uh-huh.
But the finishing doesn't say to seam, anyway. It's not a ding on the pattern. It's just, I don't
know anybody that would not have that gap.
Yeah. I mean, because you did some short row anyway for the shoulders. It is awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's going to go on the back burner for a while as I'm working on other things. But I've still got until the end of October. I really want to be able to wear it when we run into Jeanette in Stillwater. Yeah. So it shall be done. Yes. It shall be done. We'll talk about that at the end in Administrati. There's that. We're having a jolly good time doing things backwards.
Do
you have any FOs?
Yes, I do. I have lots.
I do normally say that.
So,
lots. Excellent.
Well, it's like I said, I got the cast-on-itis. Well, I got the smallsies too, So, this is my finished yarn from Wool Gatherings.
Oh, pretty. And they give you a little sleeve?
Yeah, it came. The braid came in a sleeve.
Okay. Well,
and this was a lovely gift from somebody I did a favor for. She lived in Canada, and she wanted to order some stuff that you can only order in the United States, so I ran my little booty over to the post office for her, and then I was doing it for nothing, out of the goodness of my heart, as it were, and she just sent me this extra lovely special present for that. I got 330 yards out of it, and I'm digging the colors, and I think it'll be very fun. I gotta start knitting with my hand spun. It just sits there, looking pretty.
What weight do you think that is? Did you say?
Between a fingering and a support. Okay. And then I brought them both, but I only did one of these. But just to prove that it's not the same one from last week, I have 2 now. Proof. So I think I only have enough yarn to do 2 more squares, so, I need my other yarn. I have not been invoiced for it yet, so the Vivid might have to go back on the back burner while I'm waiting for the yarn. And I have a lot of these little woven squares.
Oh, fun. They looked bigger in the picture. That's what she said.
Yes. So,
that's nice though. It's kind of like my fingering held double little portion on my Austin.
Yeah. So it's,
I love this.
So how many times I played with this? So my favorite fabric came from holding fingering weight double.
So it literally is. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
So the other ones that I tried was fingering single and a DK single. Not a single ply, just, not held double. And these are by far my favorite fabric. The other ones seemed a little too holy, too much.
I know people like that. A little too holy. Just kidding.
So yeah, this
wow.
This was fun. So
what yarn was this? This is beautiful.
That is the Russian
that's
self-stripey.
So this is Alaskan Nancy.
Yep, this is the Russian Fairy Tale self-stripey. And you see I held two of the stripes together and I made sure that they blended, I don't want to say blended perfectly, but I mashed them up so that the stripes were together and different on each of them. So this burgundy and forest green was together, and the yellow and the blue was together, and then in the middle there's a light green and orange together.
What are you going to do with them?
I was thinking I'm going to keep making them until I'm sick of it, and then I'm going to try and turn it into like a quilt top. Now I don't know how I'm going to join them. They are fabrics, so I could sew. Or I could think of a different technique, because my mom's done stuff like this before, where you could sew them so that the wrong sides are together, and then you sew them, and then you open them up so that your seam is out, and it's really cute. The little edging that it gives here. So I think that would work. I think that would look adorable.
Do you think that
on
your
top.
I'm going to derail the conversation, so go ahead.
No, that was it.
So do you think that that making them on that loom is faster than you would be able to like hold them double and knit up a little swatch like that? Is it faster? I mean, it obviously creates a much different woven fabric.
Right.
But you could do like a woven stitch. Do you think it's faster or slower? Is it like zoom zoom loom, or is it like, I could probably knit this in a comfortable amount of time?
Well, how long do you think it would take you to knit one of these?
How many stitches wide do you think it is? I don't know. Maybe an hour?
Okay. I think that if I was focused on this, like sometimes I just put it down and I come back to it. I think they're about 15 minutes a piece.
Okay. So
you know, 4 an hour.
Yeah, much faster.
And again, like wrapping it takes about 2 minutes. And then the weaving part of it is what takes the rest of the time. So you have to like do up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, pull. Up, down, up, down, up, down, pull. Okay, up, down, down, pull. Yeah, so it's
literally like making those old pot holders, but instead of having like banded things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not banded, but yeah. And then I looked up online how to make them biased. So that it's a biased. And then I looked up online how to change the so that it didn't look like a straight weave. It was different weaving techniques. And I thought, well, I'm okay with the straight up right now. And the other ones, it seemed like if you did them, it would change the border. And since I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, I kind of like the borders to all be the same.
Matchy.
Matchy. So I was thinking, yeah, I can zoom it on up until I get sick of it. And then once I'm done, zooming it on up, I will figure out what I'm going to do with them. I mean, I don't even have enough for a scarf, right? I got to keep zooming it up. But ultimately, I think I want to try a quilt top. Now, if it ends up being a decorative wall hanging, versus an actual quilt, that remains to be seen.
So be it.
But again, I like, I can kind of have a story for each of these. It's like, oh, this is my Julissa. And this is my Nancy socks. And this one I can't remember what I knit out of it. So I'm kind of like, I don't remember. And then this one was a Stephen West pattern. The mitts. It's Dustland mitts. And then this was something I had knit for my grandmother for Christmas. So it's like, oh, now if I could just remember what I knit out of this, then I'd be all set. Oh wait, I'm wearing it.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
And you used all of that?
Well, no, I have
leftovers.
I have
from...
so much left over because I only used it on little stripes.
Oh wait, I'm wearing it.
Yes, I am. I just forgot. So it's this stripe in here. Exciting.
Excellent.
And then it's Old Home Week for this yarn because out of the other leftovers from this sweater, noodle. This is the closest I will come to owning a Chihuahua. So, yep, he's mine. Isn't he cute? And I was telling Susan, we were talking for some other reason, I forget what it was, but I think it was, I commented on her Jinx pattern that just got released, and it's a cat, and it's kind of Halloween themed because the mouth is kind of like a, I don't know, scary mouth. Yeah, it's kind of creepy. I don't know. I like it. I think it's kind of cool. But anyway, I said, well, I finished my first noodle because I think that I'm going to knit this one again. It was so much fun.
Excellent.
That and just that face. I mean, I got to make more of those.
Yeah, I want to knit a noodle.
He's so cute.
I want to knit a noodle.
Noodle is so cute. So
you want to eat him?
Eat the noodles.
I've got lots of self-striping that I've been like eyeballing for, like, should I make the kids socks that they're gonna outgrow, or should I make little cute little toys?
Oh, yeah.
I think he'd be cute in self-striping.
So this would fit in the theme with the knit the stuffies out of sock weight yarn for our October knit along. So they don't have to be the wee things, you know, that are like an inch tall. But knitting things out of sock yarn, so this guy probably normally would have stood this much taller. I'm thinking out of the DK, and now he's down here. Maybe not that much taller, but
yeah,
quite a bit bigger.
That was, yeah.
And now he's a wee one.
That is fun. That is a nice feature on toy patterns, that it's not like knit this leg for blah 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 inches, because then they would be extremely elongated. If you just do a number of rounds, then then they size down.
Yep. You can
Everything is miniaturized.
You can shrink anything. Toys. So that qualifies and totally should
Love
do it.
him.
And we're finalizing the details, but I am thinking knit as many as you want. Heart's content. Enter as many times as you want. This is a volume contest. Now, you don't get a prize for having the most. You just get a lot of entries into a random number drawing. But, yeah. So, love my noodle. Noodle. Yeah, and the enabling thread, it's crazy. So, you should go out there and check it out every once in a while. Because pattern people submit their things, like when they finish a pattern. So we've had sock patterns and a couple toy patterns recently, and and then dyers and bag makers. There was an interesting bag maker who just went out there too, like has an innovative design for a bag. And again, I'm kind of up to here with bags right now, so I've seen a lot of cute things that I'm just like, oh, it's so cute. Amy, you have bags that you don't even use.
Yeah, you're related to a bag maker.
Yes, that too. My mom, could make me that bag if I showed her a picture of it. So,
yep.
I feel really conflicted.
Any more FOs? I mean, could you talk any longer about things that you finished?
So I will probably end up continuing to have the small little things they're adding to the blankets and wanting, the eensy weensy things. But I am enjoying knitting them, so, it's hard to stop.
Do not deny yourself the satisfaction. I finished my top down OMG heel socks, and I wrote down the pattern, and I just have to type it up and send it out to my test knitters. Which I have quite a few already that are interested in trying them. But this is the Kirby Werby yarns in the Zombie Granny Panties colorway in her BFL base. I just kind of ad hoc did a little go when the color change go out, color change goes in, garter section on the toe or on the top of the foot, and I don't know if you'll be able to see the heel, but there's the heel. It looks like an OMG heel, but it's from the other direction. So yeah, when Amy was somebody, no, it wasn't you. Somebody had a picture out on Instagram. I looked at it and I could see that's an OMG heel. Kind of got a little bit of a bubble to it, and I've got a bubble of a heel. It reflects the shape of my heel. So yeah, that is a coming, and I will wear them. I was reading somebody's post out on Instagram that I think it was his handmaid that was saying that she wears the one sock as motivation while she's knitting the other one. And I was like, I totally do that. Not necessarily as motivation, but it's just like, oh, my foot's cold. I'll put one sock on and look at it as I'm knitting the other one. But that was my FO. I'm happy to have, I think this is the August self-stripey, so I still need to do September self-stripey, and I'll be caught up. But my husband's big clodhopper feet are probably, and that's not a self-striper, are probably going to take up a few. Then I have one other person that I am going to be knitting socks for, and then I will be a giver.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm
be on the lookout.
I'm 2 socks away from 4 socks if you count 2 pairs, 4 socks away from being.
Come on, Megan, do the math correctly.
I know, right? Well, if I were writing a pattern, I would put it in poopins and put the 4 socks total.
So, have we reached a Minestrati?
I think we have. Yeah.
Okay.
We kind of started with, did we start with a little bit of a Minestrati?
A little bit. We were kind of discussing our day or week or whatever.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a Minestrati.
So anyway, I wanted to go quickly into thank you to people who offered to test knit, but I am full.
Yep.
I have more than enough, and I have a list of an additional set of people that I could probably dip into in the future. And thank you to my test knitters who have already finished and given me comments. It was very helpful.
Fantastic.
And I'm pretty excited. Still remaining a secret until we can get those shipped out, but then once they're in the hands of the people who paid for the kit, it will be released as a for pay pattern so that people can join in on our KEL.
Yep. In November.
And then that was it.
Yep.
You had with birthday the thing.
Well, my design is still in the works.
Right.
It's
But
in my brain, not yet in the yarn. I think I may have to cut the tail off.
Okay.
I've literally cast on 100 times. It's
Yeah.
starting to look like it's been more than 100 times, you
Okay.
know, being cast on and whatever. But it held up really great. You guys are gonna love it. So yes, we have a birthday weekend in Stillwater, which is October 26th. We'll be hanging out in Stillwater. We'll be going to the Crossings Hotel again. Amy contacted them and got us a group rate so that we could stay there again, and we'll have that big community area again. And we'll be going to hopefully Darn It Anyway. We haven't yet contacted them, but they have open shop hours on Saturday, and we can go shop there and go have dinner / lunch somewhere, hike to the top of the hill, go do shoppy things. I didn't really do much shopping. Chaz
is trying to knock over a vase of flowers right now.
Flowers for my anniversary. He's trying to eat my anniversary flowers. And yeah, so we'll have details on Chaz. Sorry if I
That was
blew
really
out
loud.
your ears. Maybe we can just cut that whole section. we will have details out on the website about, you have to call in to get the group rate, and we've got, a block of rooms, so hopefully we will outgrow that. But if you've been looking for details on that and been like, last year they got together and they had cake and they had fun, and I want to try to meet up because I live in Minnesota/Wisconsin somewhere, we're doing that the 26th of this year, and it's very, we sang Nirvana, it's very Nirvana. Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be.
Yeah, it's very much like Megan and I decided to do this, and that's where we'll be, so you can come join us if you want.
It's a meetup.
Yeah, it's a meetup. It's not any sort of official planned event. We may buy a cake again, but
there may be swag involved, since we have some swag. But
okay.
Yeah. Hey. He was being a stickler with the swag. Maybe some swag. But yeah, other than that, the birthday kits are going swimmingly. Things are arriving. Still really awesome. You're going to love it. And retreat signups are still out there. Sorry, I felt like I don't know where that came from. Pew, pew, pew. The like vibes were flying. Oh my god, we're into 15 minutes. Okay. So, yeah. Retreat signups are still out there. If you're interested in mending, please throw your name into the hat. And away we go.
Yeah.
Backwards episode.
Topsy-turvy, upside down.
Beep, 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 beep. Back that truck up.
Yeah, that's all I had.
We should have started with a bye Ufta.
Oh, darn. Bye.
Bye Ufta.